Hey guys, welcome back. We are days away from the new school year starting. Summer is almost over, sadly. So we are going to be really focusing on back to school, getting all prepped out for that. I am going to quickly tidy up my room, mostly just make the bed so that I can feel a little bit accomplished before I get into all the rest of my to-do list. Then we'll do a quick family tidy to tidy up the main living area, and then we are going to jump all into all the back to school stuff. I have a ton that I want to get done, and like I said, we are very close to the end of summer, so I'm kind of cutting it close. I'm like running out of time, but we'll get it all done. I'll also share like some mom hacks, just some things that we like to do to make the school year start a little bit smoother. So I hope you are ready to get super motivated. Let's go ahead and get into it. I wanna hear you say that you only want me. There is clearly more to do in my bedroom, but I really did want to take just a minute to make the bed because I have been doing really good lately with making my bed each day, but I still wanted to make sure that I was staying on task and focusing on back to school prep. But once I got the bed made, I came back out into the main living area and we started on our family tidy. And as I was putting away one of the blankets, we found Ollie snuggling up in the blanket bin. So we just kind of placed the blankets off to the side. But how cute is he? He has just grown so much. I've mentioned this several times, but we have been doing our twice a day tidy almost every single day this summer, and seriously, it has been so incredible. Like, the peace that it's brought to our home all summer long has been amazing, especially when summer is a bit more chaotic. It's just, I don't know, I cannot recommend it to you guys enough, but it's really amazing how quickly you can tidy an area when you do it often. Like, when you clean multiple times a day, it's a lot easier to clean, 5 minutes in the kitchen a few times a day than it is to clean once a day, because then it's going to take you 45 minutes. We've kind of explained that to the boys, and at first they didn't get it, and then they've definitely understood it as we've continued this trend. On this day, the way we kind of wrapped up our family tidy is by actually having the boys carry their toy bin upstairs. As you can see, it was way overdue, and if you've been here for a while, I'm sure you've been wondering if we would ever get to emptying that bin again, because it's been just a while. It's been overdue for a while. But anyway, once the boys went upstairs and started putting all of those toys away, I actually started working on, of course, just like regular dishwashing. But I noticed some of my pots and pans were getting a bit of like a residue on the tops just from oil and grease and, all the things. So I, of course, used my Dawn dish spray, and then I paired that with the pink stuff, and that worked amazing. Like, they look brand new again. But I've been seeing like that Power Paste, the Scrub Daddy Power Paste, and I did just recently order some to try out, but I'm curious if you've tried both the pink paste out and the Scrub Daddy Power Paste. I'd love to hear like what your thoughts are on both of them and which one's your favorite, because I kind of think they're meant to do the same thing, but I'm sure they both have their pros and cons. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on them, and then once I try it out, I'll let you know what I think. I love a clean sink. I don't know what it is. You guys know, I've just felt like a clean sink is so satisfying and it makes the kitchen feel completely clean once that is cleaned up. But let me know what is something that's very small like that that makes a certain space feel extra satisfying and extra clean to you. I actually feel like our sink has been feeling extra clean ever since I did like a full deep clean of a lot of different areas in our home. And one of those areas was our dish disposal. I shared that in a deep cleaning video a couple weeks ago, so I will link that up in the iCards for you guys if you haven't seen it. But it smells amazing, or I guess it kind of smells like nothing, which is a very clean thing to smell when you're talking about your sink disposal. But anyway, that video was filled with tons and tons of deep cleaning tips, so definitely check that one out. And I also did like laundry stripping in that video. It was super gross, but super satisfying. Also, before we get too far into today's video, I did want to mention a giveaway that I'm doing during the entire month of August. This August is going to be my 6th YouTube anniversary, which is insane to think that we've been here on YouTube for so long now, but it has been incredible and such a blessing to our family. So I wanted to celebrate with you guys. And so all during August, I'm doing a $200 cash giveaway. All you have to do is make sure that you are subscribed to my channel and then just go ahead and leave a comment on all of the videos that I'm sharing during August. And as usual, I will have all the information for that down below in the description box. And thank you so much for being here. I am so grateful for you guys, and honestly, this would not have been possible without you. So I'm just so grateful for you, and I hope that you know how appreciated you are. Okay, so next we are actually going to work on a few things that I got to like organize our life at home for back to school. And then also I want to make some more little stickers. I just made some of these with my Cricut, and these are just going to like be able to stick onto the boys like back to school items, and then I won't have to write their name 1,000 times. So this first thing that we're gonna do is it's a little magnetic acrylic board. I want to have like 3 sections. So the first I want to have like a simple routine with like our morning routine, like an after school routine. And then I also want to be able to write on here what the school is having for lunch like each day of the week, and that way the boys can usually pick like one day a week that they don't want to take cold lunch. And then at the bottom part I just want to have notes, so like if Luke has football on Tuesday, or you know they have a certain activity, or a certain day is like, I don't know, dress up for whatever, like we can just write whatever random notes. I'm going to attach this to the side of the fridge, and it's just going to make it like a really nice convenient place to put everything. And then the third thing, I don't have it with me right now, but it's this little paper organizer, and so I'm going to put some labels on it, but there's enough slots to be able to put like a section for each of the boys and like homework and things like that. And I'm going to stick this right next to like their backpack area when they come home from school, so they can easily stick their papers, and then I can go through them really nice and quickly. So that's what we're gonna work on really quick, and then we'll get into all the rest of the things. All right, first I am just measuring how big I wanted the text, and I'm also going to be typing up the fonts in the bottom left corner of the screen, just because I always get that question whenever I do any Cricut projects. And then I'm just going through on the Cricut design space, writing up the text that I want and setting it to the right size. And then I'm using a light Cricut mat to lay the permanent vinyl on, and I'm loading it right in the machine, selecting what material I'm using, which I'm using Vinyl Plus, and then just letting the machine do the work. Okay, I'm going to just set this here for now, but this is that paper filer that I was talking about. So this just attaches to the wall, and I'm gonna put this by the backpack station, but right here I'm going to like label their names, or like one of the bins is gonna be for homework or things that need to return to school. And then down here is cool because it has this little slot area where we can put you know, kind of whatever little things that they might need to go to school right in the morning. And these actually come out. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on that real quick and then get that cut. For the paperwork station, I am following the exact same steps, and I'm going to link this wall file folder down below along with anything else that I'm using in today's video, but I have wanted something like this for quite a while, and when I finally found it, I was probably a little bit too excited, but the boys' paperwork was so chaotic last year, and I feel like it kind of floated around from the backpack area to our little wood wall to Kyle's office, my office, the kitchen counters, in our bedroom. Like, it just went everywhere. It was not super organized, and I think that this is really going to combat that and help it be a lot more structured and just a lot more organized during the year. So I'm so beyond excited to remedy that situation this school year. Once my Cricut cut everything out, I just moved into the kitchen just to kind of change things up and be in a different space, and I started weeding the vinyl. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just me, but to me, I feel like weeding vinyl is so satisfying, both to watch and also just to actually weed it yourself. It feels very relaxing to me to just sit and focus on it. I think it's because a lot of times my mind is just going so fast. Like, I'm always thinking of so many things and all the things I need to do. And so this just kind of forces my mind to chill out and just kind of be in the moment. But it also can kind of let my mind wander, but in a not stressful way, if that makes sense. I don't know. I never really got into these, but maybe it's along the line of those adult coloring books. It's just kind of therapeutic to sit and do. I chose this clear acrylic board because I really wanted function, but I didn't want it to be a big distraction in the kitchen, so this was perfect. It's very kind of minimal and out of the way, like you don't necessarily notice it when you're not looking for it, but it obviously offers a lot of function, and it just magnets right onto the fridge. But on here, I included a routine section, both with a before and after school section. Then we also have the lunch area where I can write the school lunch menu every day so that they can pick which one they want to have for the week. And then on the bottom, we have a note section, and that's really for like if Luke has football practice one week, if Liam has soccer, if Noah has flag football that week, just different things on different days, and it will help kind of keep everybody's information all in one spot. Now for the paper organizer, I don't feel like this is absolutely necessary to label, but I do think that having labels on things can really help everyone else kind of keep it organized, because I'm planning for the kids to really be involved in this and putting their papers where they belong. And so with it being organized, they'll know exactly where to put their papers, whether it's things that I need to go through or whether it's things that they need to do to return to school, whatever it may be. All right, we have the paper organizer all nice and labeled and put together. So Kyle is going to help me attach this to the wall kind of by the boys' backpack area. And I think that's just gonna make it so much nicer throughout the year, because the boys are always like bringing home various papers and such, and like we don't have a good immediate organization. So basically I'm going to replace this one, which this has kind of worked, but really it just ended up being unorganized catch-all, and it's been sitting like this all summer long. So I'm gonna have to go through these, but then we will have a place for everybody to put their own things, and then I can like not be overwhelmed and just put it all away. Next, we are going to be working on just making sure that the boys' like school lunch area is all set up. So we did not buy any new lunch boxes or anything. We're just using the ones that we had from last year because they're all actually in good shape. So we have like water bottles over here, all their lunch boxes, and then this shelf is the actual lunch bin area. And then in here is where we have like extra Ziploc bags, things like that. So I'm just gonna go through and kind of reorganize everything so that we're all set to go for the school year. All right, let's take a minute and talk lunch. Please let me know, what are your favorite non-sandwich lunches to send to school? Or maybe something that you take for your own lunch at work, but something that's not needing to be reheated. I am totally not feeling inspired this year for school lunches. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'll get into it, like the deeper into school that they get, but I'm really striving to make the best routines, especially when it comes to back to school. And so I would absolutely love your ideas for school lunches. And maybe if I get a lot of great ideas or I start feeling inspired myself, I can even share like a back to school lunch idea video if that's something that you'd be interested in seeing. All right, so that did not take a lot of time, and I'm just kind of reorganizing this to work the best for us. These lunch containers have worked so well. I love them so much. They are dishwasher safe and airtight. These are the Hydro Peak like flasks. So you can put like mac and cheese, soup, whatever warm stuff you want. The boys actually do cereal sometimes, and I just give them a little container of milk. Back here we have like little dressing containers or whatnot, those notes, napkins, and toothpicks. And then up here, I ended up moving that from the water bottle drawer. This is going to hold the individual cups for like water, juice, milk, whatever we send with them. So they'll be all good to go. I got this hack from my sister that's closest to me in age, but she told me that she likes to pre-make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches or peanut butter and honey and put them in the freezer. And of course I took her advice and I tried it out, and it has been amazing, like such a great mom hack. Now this isn't something that's going to save you a ton of time because it really doesn't take too long to make a sandwich in the morning. However, on those mornings that your alarm doesn't go off or everything is going wrong and the whole morning seems upside down, every single second counts, and you will be thanking yourself later when you have these frozen peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that you can grab, put in a lunchbox, run out the door. And actually we found that they're really nice for after school snacks when you have to run out of the house really quick for a sporting event or activity or whatever it might be. There's just so many benefits to pre-making some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and popping them in your freezer. And speaking of snacks, we are also going to be pre-making those too. So here we just have some goldfish, some nuts, and also some craisins. This is going to save you money because you're not having to buy those pre-portioned snacks at the store, which are very expensive. And you're also going to save a lot of time because you're not having to make them new each day. You just portion out a bunch at once, pop them in your pantry or your cabinet, and you're good to go. Finally, we are getting into all the boys' like back to school items. So I have their supply list printed out. This year it was actually so fun. I did like back to school shopping date nights or day dates, I guess, with the boys. And I went individually with each of them and like we picked their things, and it did take more time, but we were at the store for like a shorter amount of time with each kid, and it was just really fun being able to go together. But anyway, so I have their supply list and I already went shopping for the supplies. And then I just have these stickers printed out. I printed them out with my Cricut. So all you do with Cricut stickers is I just order these online, but you can actually get them from Cricut. I just got them off Amazon. And then you go design your sticker in the Cricut design space, print them out with your regular printer, and then load them into your Cricut, and it actually cuts them out. You can make it say whatever. You can use color if you want. I just made it nice and simple and did black and white with their last name. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this on all of the boys' things and then go ahead and pack up their backpacks with all the supplies that we got. Luke decided to join me, and I was so happy he did because it made putting school supplies away a little bit easier and a lot more enjoyable. But oh my gosh, you guys, school supplies have gotten so pricey. I've definitely found ways to make it a lot more affordable, but I kind of joked with Kyle, kind of joking, kind of not, how we have to save for Christmas every year, like Christmas gifts, and now we have to save for back to school time because especially with 3 kids, like things just add up. I remember when Luke was going into kindergarten, it was so exciting and so fun with 1 kid, but it definitely adds up when you have multiple kids. But anyway, that's just kind of random thoughts that I'm having about this. But anyway, eventually Luke and I got everything kind of sorted out into different piles. I loaded up the backpacks and then went over to our backpack station kind of near the front door to tidy up the summer chaos and prepare it for back to school time. Okay, so this is my sock hack. I've been using this for several years now. I'm actually gonna change out the bins I use. So we have like a clean sock bin and our dirty sock bin over there. So whenever the boys come home and put all their socks away, it's not just a mess to get it into their room or like have to run to their room in the mornings. Everything is just all together right here. But this one is the one that we've used for the last year, and it just like flows everywhere. It makes a mess. So I wanted one that was really nice and deep and that would also take up less of the bench. Please let me know in the comments, what is your favorite back to school mom hack? I'm sure you guys have amazing ones that I've never heard or never tried, and I would love to hear kind of what things make a big difference for you when it comes to back to school and just school time in general. So eventually I did finish tidying up this area, and I just kind of swept out all of the mess from moving everything around. And I am now feeling prepared. I'm not ready for summer to be over, but I feel like we are prepared for school at this point. And I also kind of feel like we are going to be in limbo for the next month or so, because here in Arizona especially, we are still feeling summer weather very intensely. However, we are back in school. So it's like we're not yet into fall, but we're also not really in summer mode either. So we'll kind of see where things go this month. But I'm so excited for Monday's video. On Monday, I'm sharing an after dark clean with me, and it's going to be so incredibly relaxing and therapeutic. So get your to-do list ready Monday morning and meet me back here, because we will be starting the week off with the most soothing nighttime cleaning motivation ever. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to enter into that giveaway, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.